Myrtle Beach. Let's delve right into it. So our video's out. The Myrtle Beach Q video is out. So you've seen. Hopefully, if you've not watched it, this does include spoilers. So be warned. But I didn't qualify for the PGA Tour event in Myrtle Beach. However, if you've not watched it, you'll know that I actually played pretty well.
Yeah,
really
big however.
Really
big
well.
However.
So it was an incredible event, and it was definitely the most nervous I've been on a golf course. I won't talk you through every shot, but I do need to talk you through my first tee shot. So, one of the things about warming up and getting ready for a round, one thing which everybody says you need to do is before you leave the range, practice your first tee shot.
Yeah.
Visualize it, hit it, cool. The first hole was like 390, kind of round the corner. Remember, that's about 380.
Little, yeah.
Kind of round the corner, tiny dog leg, but it's a hybrid off the first or an iron, just to not reach the far bunker, leave yourself a wedge in.
You're not mashing driver over the trees?
Not mashing driver.
No, because we're playing smart golf.
It's just not that hole.
Right,
Yeah.
okay,
Like,
got you.
You'd have to be an exceptional driver of the golf ball, which I was that day, actually, to be fair. But I'm warming up, and I'm hitting it all right. Not too bad, bit scrappy, but I'm hitting it okay. Bit nervous, obviously. And I'm looking at my watch. I'm like, right, okay, I've got 5 minutes to kind of get down to the tee. So I'm like, okay, I need to hit some hybrids. So I've hit a hybrid. It's all right, not too bad. Gonna hit a hybrid. I'm like, okay, I've got to get going. So I'll have one more. Okay.
Oh, God.
I've hit the biggest snap hook you've ever seen in your life. Now, the first hole at Myrtle Beach, if you hit it left, you're re-teeing.
Yeah.
Real bad.
Yeah.
Real bad. So I think, right, okay, it's fine. I'll just get another one out, went through my routine. I hit a bigger snap hook. I've hit this thing all the way back to South Carolina.
It hooks so much, it hits you in the back.
It's a boomerang of epic proportions. And I'm like, oh my God, right, okay, it's fine, don't worry about it. Just get one more and just hit like a fade.
Yeah.
Just hit a fade. I've hit a pull snap hook.
Podrick, we need you right now.
This all makes sense now, because when we were sort of preparing, you were like, you kept hitting shots, and we were like, why is he keeping going?
So I'm like, right, I've got to go. I can't be late.
The reason I didn't make the cut is because I missed my tee time.
So I'm like, get to the first tee, and it's nothing but a hybrid.
Yep.
And my club at the time, we've got 19 degree, then a 22 degree hybrid. Next up was a 3-wood. It's not a 3-wood, and it's not a driver.
Yeah.
It is a hybrid.
You could have hit iron, but you would have had a long shot back in. And
It's that one club. So anyway, I'm struggling to get this bloody tee in the ground. And then the announcer comes on. Well, can we try and find the audio of this announcer?
Yeah.
Now on the tee, playing out of Manchester in the United Kingdom, Peter Finch.
Honestly, he introduced me like I was a conquering gladiator.
Yeah.
And it didn't make me feel any better.
That's not helping, mate.
So I've teed up this hybrid, and I've not quite closed my eyes when I've hit it, but there was a definite at the top of the swing, a bit of a just screw it. Just screw it. And I just nailed this tight little draw.
God, that must have felt so good.
It felt amazing, but it was such a relief. It was such a relief. It wasn't like excitement. It was just, oh my God, thank God.
It left the tee box.
Yeah, like the breath that I let out. It felt like I've been holding it for 4 days. Just like, honestly. And like I said, watch the video. I won't talk you through it, but I drove it great. Hit some funky iron shots. Didn't really strike it well, but managed to be level par. And I think at that time I was 2-3 shots off the lead. Eagled the 15th.
Yeah, I think.
Excellent.
I think going down 15.
14. Eagle 14.
Eagled 14. Going down 15, you asked what the score was.
15.
No, I'm getting this. Down 16, you asked what the score was, and I think at that point you were 4 back.
Yeah.
At that point, but I know this is such a it's if buts and maybes, but genuinely, if everything kind of just sort of fell into place a little bit, you really did play well enough to be in that final group and even get into the playoff.
Yeah, I think looking back on it, if a few things had gone a little bit differently, I could have made the play.
Yeah.
I was driving it well enough.
Yeah.
I hit a few funky putts, but I did also hole some really good par putts.
Really good putts.
So it's kind of like you know, it's one of those where everyone playing could have said the same thing. But out of all the YouTubers, I was second after George.
Which I think was the initial goal, was to finish as high above the as high in the YouTubers ranking as possible.
We said this when there was a leaderboard and then a leaderboard within the leaderboard of everyone, you know, and it was nice
they
to
almost
see.
should have had them like different colours.
Yeah, like they usually has their colleges, but
this person makes videos for a living. This person is a tour pro.
PGA Tour coverage, usually they sometimes have a little like college logo.
Yeah.
You could have like the YouTube logo.
The Titleist, they have the Titleist when all the Titleist players play the Titleist ball. They
Do you know
should have
what?
had that.
At this moment in time, I haven't fully edited the video completely,
That's
so that's going in.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That.
Well done.
Yeah.
You could have everyone like just anyone who's like a YouTuber, just have the YouTube symbol.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
That's a
yeah.
great shout.
And then I have we'll do that.
Yeah. Okay, well done everyone for contributing to the video that isn't out yet.
That was great.
But no, it was probably for me anyway. I mean, I don't know what Jacob thinks, but that was the best round I've ever seen you play. In the circumstances, everything going on, I really genuinely believe that was you.
I think it was definitely the most nervous, because that's my first 18-hole comp I've played in years, and to kind of hold it together, to stick to my routine, to only really hit, I might have hit maybe 7-8 bad shots, but pretty much the rest of it was solid. I drove it.
You drove it really well, yeah.
Yeah, and then Brandon, the caddy as well, was great.
Brandon was great,
great to bounce off and everything.
It was 13, 14, 15 where you had the par 3 where you best iron shot of the day, and you missed the short part.
Oh yeah,
from I think there.
That's
then obviously
like a little moment.
I mean, you obviously didn't make it, and then went to go and eagle the par 5, which obviously is great as it is to bounce back off that. But then the next hole after that, you made a really good par out of the trees, like really good par. And then even 16, like you had a good look at birdie, which just slipped to the left.
That sucked.
If those 2 putts went in, you probably then go down the last, and you're 1 under, 2 under. So I mean, you go into full attack mode at that point. But you're genuine. You're there.
Yeah, it was close.
Yeah,
it was close.
I agree with Kieran. I think it's probably some of the best golf I've seen you play, and certainly from like even taking the work perspective out of it. Like obviously you're one of my really good friends, so like I was so proud of like how you played that day, because of like not only the golf that you played, but just also the environment you did it in, and it showed like you can do it at that moment in time, which was so good to see, and it was the most fun I've had filming.
Yeah, I was going to say, what was the filming experience like? Because it's a bit different to what we normally do, where we kind of almost have the course to ourselves. You know, we sometimes will let groups through if we're taking too long or whatever, but like in this situation, you're kind of beholden to how quickly everyone is playing. You can't get in the way. You can't really say to the people playing in the event, "Oh, sorry, don't walk in front of the tracer." Like, what was the filming experience like?
I'll just quickly start. So like I think it was definitely different for sure. I mean, for starters, every group had 3 other sets of cameras that were filming for the video that came out on Tuesday last week. So it wasn't a scrum like it was. I think they thought it was going to be a bit more of but we just had to kind of work stuff out. And I think Kieran had probably a harder job in filming it than I did, because I was just B cam and I was more on the side where Kieran was up on the tee, and especially trying to film for tracers, like very smartly Kieran moved across to the left instead of behind, because you had the other players who, you know, you can't shout at them like tracer kind of like getting in the way.
On the 16th, you did a great drive, and then you were sort of walking into it, and I was like, oh, beat off.
Yes.
And then I was like, I stopped myself. I was like, you know, I can't obviously do that, but it was very, 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 very good.
I think the only time it was an issue was on the 18th. Do you remember when they had to change?
The audio
I was getting
thing.
annoyed then.
Yeah, they had to change like the batteries out of kind of everything really, and then get everything retuned in. And I was on the tee. I was going down the last level par, kind of eagle to have any kind of chance.
What we'd like now is a nice long stoppage to get you out of your rhythm.
Yeah.
Well, you'd gone through the process and you teed the ball up and you kind of taken your step back and you were lining it up. And this bloke, and I understand people have got to do their job. Yeah. I get that. But this guy's running around behind the tee, but obviously like behind Pete trying to hit, which already as a golf etiquette no-no, you like shouldn't be doing it. So it's always going on and people were getting a little bit irritated, but it kept going on until it got to a point where someone said, look, the golf is more important now. We'll worry about that after people have hit their shot. Just let him hit now. And this is where I got annoyed, was the guy still kept moving, and people were going stop, and he was like trying to like move,
dodge past him.
I was like,
what the hell?
Just stand still, literally just stand still. And I was so glad you hit a good drive then, because if you didn't,
well, that's the thing. Because it was probably about a 5-6 minute delay on the tee while they got everything sorted, and it's fine. I could deal with it. Apart from the fact I needed an eagle and it was out of bounds left and there was water right.
Yeah, if I'm 14 over and there's literally no chance. Oh, it doesn't. I'll take as long as you want. It doesn't matter.
But yeah, when you're faced with a mega tight tee shot,
what I don't need is some lemon over there causing a problem.
I was struggling to I had to make sure I didn't look down the hole. Because every time I looked down the hole, my eyes were like going left. Up, there's out of bounds. And then it was drifting. Oh, there's a water there. Oh, okay, fine enough. So just turn around, trying to keep it light. And then, like, Checker said, there's a guy just like dodging around. And I was like, oh my God. But I managed to hit it. It wasn't my best strike, but I managed to get it down the middle, which was good. Honestly, it was. I mean, as far as like the event and the concept, it'd be interesting to see how it goes down. Obviously, we're recording this before we know properly what's happened. So it's going to be good. I hope everyone enjoys it, and hopefully it's the start of something regular.
Yes. Yeah, that was something that I kind of got the vibe of. Was like, this ain't done. Like this is gonna happen again. Yeah. Where I don't know, but this is gonna happen again.
Yeah, it's a bit of a call to the smaller tour events to say, look, this is. I wonder how much it will affect the viewing now that they know kind of how people got into the event, and it's probably a call to some of those smaller tour events to say, look, there's loads of things you could be doing to reaching this whole new audience that you don't have access to currently. So I'd love to see it become a regular thing. Yeah.
I think probably something they will change, I imagine, because it was George and Matt Atkins in the playoff. Yeah. George really should have got through. Yeah. He just had a bad last hole, which he was so gutted about it afterwards, you can understand. Lost in the playoff. Matt got through. Matt's a great player. I imagine if a YouTuber with a following would have got through, again, that would have translated more into the actual event.
And you got the impression that the guys who organised it, they wanted that. They wanted the YouTuber to be there, especially at least get them up there.
I think there was a little bit of fear because this hasn't been done before, for a start. Yeah. It's not been done before. I think there was a little bit of fear going into it, is that if it was just YouTubers, just social media people, what if
someone
the
shoots
winning
6
score
over
was like a 78? And then it would have been like, well, this is just ridiculous. But
and then that person comes dead last.
Yeah, obviously
like, oh, no.
That would have killed it probably before it even began.
Yeah, so it's probably the right move to have.
I think so. I think it was safe.
The backup plan of these guys are Corn Ferry or playing on mini tours and stuff. So
I think it showed off how good YouTube golfers are. Like I think there can be a bit of a stigma to say that you can retake shots and things like that. When you're in a tournament situation, you've got a card in your hand. Like it's obviously very different. Yeah, like you tied with a guy who played on Live. Like
it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
You did play very, very well. Of the bits I've seen, it looks like you were in a completely different zone to what we've seen you in before. So
yeah, it's weird. I think I've given myself, and certainly after we've played in this before we filmed with Padraig, but I'm saying this to the guys, like having that conversation with Padraig and getting everything kind of in my head, I almost feel like I've got a bit more permission to take it a bit more seriously. I don't know if it's stupid. Like you should be going through your routine and concentrating anyway in every shot, but it's hard when you're making YouTube videos because obviously you gotta make it.
Yeah, no. If we filmed a video of you playing to your ultimate serious, you wouldn't talk to the camera. You'd be thinking. You'd maybe talk to your caddy, and we wouldn't know what club you're hitting, how far you've got in, what shot shape you're trying to hit, where you're aiming. Like we would just be watching you play golf, which obviously if you play great golf, it's still good to watch. But the hard thing about doing it on YouTube is having to also present to the camera at the same time.
I'm quite interested. Obviously, at this point you're watching, I will have already seen, but I'm looking forward to seeing what the comments on the video will be like, because even though Pete and his caddy Brandon are mic'd up, they certainly don't talk as much as a usual video. They certainly don't talk as loud. It's all kind of that process conversation of kind of doing it all. And hopefully the more of the drama of it will come through the video, because that's what it is about. You're not going to get loads of entertainment in terms of Pete being funny kind of thing.
Yeah,
even though you are a couple of times.
There's 0 memes in this video.
I will also apologise. Not that I haven't left any in, but there are some bleeps, Pete. I will say.
Yeah,
you had some.
That's what I mean. Like I wanted him to be just how you would approach like a normal competitive round. I mean, I didn't talk to you really the whole round, so like I wanted you to sort of keep. Yeah, it was probably probably great.
It was like, can we go get a spice bag after this?
Yeah. So I just wanted you to just do your thing and just like it was a very it was a competitive round, for the PGA Tour. It was a really massive deal, and I really, really hope it happens again. Really, really hope.
I think that was maybe the only time I did caught myself and I kind of slipped back into YouTube mode a little bit. Is if I'd hit like a bad shot or there was something that went wrong, and I did throw out an old Tyrrell Hatton or two. I was a bit like, all right, okay, try not to do that. It didn't work in the end.
No, it didn't.
You finally worked it out on, I think it was 12, where you was that the shortish par 4. You had a birdie putt. Was that 12?
12. Yeah.
The drive. It was like a bit of a.
Oh yeah.
And you kept your birdie putt short.
Yeah.
And instead of swearing and using all the profanity that you've been using previously, you just stated, bad word, bad word, bad word. Bad word. And I can keep that in.
Yeah, those are great. I love those.
But there are, I will say, as you say, if you've watched the video, there are some bleeps, and there could have been more.
Yeah, more bleeps got cut out.
The 17th scared me, I tell you, because I saw
the par 3.
I was zooming in and I saw that ball go over the edge, and I didn't want to say anything because like a lot of people, didn't really know, and I was like,
yeah, editing that back and watching that clip for the first time, I'm actually amazed.
I don't know how that.
But from
ball stayed up.
I saw it, and it's the reason because it just basically just hopped into the thick and it just popped it in. But after seeing that clip, for sure,
it's like a semi-island green, and I thought it was 180, and I thought, well, 99 would be safe.
Downwind,
pumped up. It was downwind.
And you're juiced as well.
Downwind.
He's not taking performance enhancing
allegedly.
drugs. I meant his
allegedly
just spice bags.
A bag of spice. And it was the best 99 I've ever struck in my life. Oh. When I hit it, I was like,
oh no. Yeah.
And the bat was like,
it felt really good. I don't care where it went.
Yeah. Oh, the very 99 I love a lot.